Hi, it's Howard Baxton again. Um, we're going to walk through this next instruction card. It's for number 6, couples individually sequenced. Okay, so we're going to show you how to set up a set of couples note cards, and then we're going to show you how to sequence through them one at a time. So we run one, then when it's done running, we'll run to the next one, and when it's done running, we'll run to the next one. And when it's done running, we'll cycle back and start over again at the first one. So, with all that done, let's go up here and read what we've got going on. It says now we move on to couple sequencing, where we will have two couples and allow them to run separate sequences at the same time. This card will also take a different approach, which will save some menu memory by not including individual sequences in the menu. In other words, we won't have a menu button. Instead, we'll use one note card to fire off the sequence, and the menu won't be bothered by them in the end. So when we're all done, we're going to first create note cards for each individual pose card, and we'll name them such that you can see them in the menu for setting them up. If you need to adjust, you can. If you don't need to adjust, no big deal. Then we'll remove those note cards. We'll rename those note cards and remove them from the menu. Then we'll add a timer line and direct nPose to run the next note card within each one of them. Next, we'll create a note card to fire them off in a sequence. Okay, so in other words, our lines with the timers in them will be hidden. They won't show up in the menu, and then we'll create one to fire off the sequence. All that said, first we need some functionality that isn't part of the basic scripts. We need a plug-in to do the function of the timer and so first instruction is to add the following plug-in to the couch. This is the sat plugin, version 4.0. It's here because this is assuming somewhat of a standalone instruction card. We do have that plugin in our V4 folder. It's right here. So we don't really need to pull that one back in again. It's there if you ever need it. So we're good there. So step 1 says make a card in your inventory and name it. Set couple sequence 1.1. And the 1.1 is meaning couple 1, sequence 1. So let me copy this, and oops, I guess I better add my sat not sat plugin first. We don't really need this Prim Parms editor now. We can delete that. And I think one other thing we can delete is set rough. Oh, there it is, right there. We don't need that in there anymore. We've changed it, and I kind of like that, and I want to leave it. But if you want to change it, we will show you how to do that later. I mean, we'll set that up. We'll set up some changes later. Okay, so now I need to, in my working folder, create a new note card and paste that name in there. There we have it. Now it says edit the card and add 2 exam lines for the couple, first in the sequence. So we'll add these 2 lines right here. Copy these 2 lines, paste them in, Save and close the card, add it to the couch, and adjust the seats best you can and save. Okay, so we save this card, add it to the couch, touch. Let's go ahead and grab the adjusters. We have our adjusters. Now let's go ahead and go and grab our couple sequence 1 note card. Oh, I see that they are needing some adjustment. How about that? Seat 1 and seat 2. Let's edit this one and this one and just go ahead and rotate it 90 degrees. We'll move it forward somewhere around there and move them here. And you see in my local chat, I'm getting lots of chatter back from new positions. Now that we have those in our local, we can go ahead and copy the last seat 1 and seat 2 lines and add them into our note card, replacing these. Paste, remove that extra stuff, and we're there. By the way, we don't have to remove that stuff. They're not going to be read by nPose. However, it does take energy to actually sort through those lines. It takes time, one line at a time, and we have to look at all possibilities that it could be some key word that we want to process on. If it's not, it just falls on through. So it's a lot of work to go through and look at those. So I do recommend we pull those out, by the way. Okay, now we're set. We've got seat 1 doing the storytelling and seat 2 looking right. And what you just saw is the result of this guy right here, options to default on. The pad changed to the default pose. The reason it did this is because the menu timed out. So actually we do want to return to the default pose when the menu times out. And the menu times out in 120 seconds from the last touch. So as you see, the menu's timed out and it no longer responds. While an avatar is sitting, their menu will not time out at all as long as they are seated. Once they stand, nPose will automatically return to the default pose. Let me demonstrate. Let me sit here. Touch for menu. Couple sequence 1. Well, that's very interesting. I thought I saved that note card. I did. That is odd. Something very weird happened. And you also notice what happens when an avatar sits and replaces the animesh. The avatar does not move real time, but the animesh does. The avatar only moves when you release the mouse button from the drag, and then the avatar goes back. And interestingly enough, rotation hasn't changed at all. Let's copy this. Let's paste it in here again. And let's save and see what happens here. Let's do couples. Sit one. Let's go up. Couple sequence. Sequence one. I'm very confused here. Let me stop this thing and try and figure out what happened. Okay, I had a chance to look this over. I was saving the adjustments in this note card when I should have been saving them in this note card. You see there's rotation of -90 in the Z. If I paste them in here and then save, you notice we come back around and everything's cool. I was definitely in the wrong note card, confusing myself with all these almost the same type names. Okay, so where are we now? We've done all these things, and now we're ready to go on to step 2. Just make a note card in inventory and name it set sequence 1.-2, meaning couple 1 sequence 2. So let me copy that name. Let me go over here, add a new note card, paste the name in, and save it. Now it says copy these lines and paste them in. I can see we're already in trouble with adjustments because these are -90. Let me copy these. When we're done, it says save and close, and add it to the couch and adjust it as you need. So let's go ahead and paste it in, save and close, add it to the pad. Okay, and we don't see it here. We'll have to do something to refresh the menu to get it to show up, and I can click this empty button, or I can click the up key and then come back in here. Let's just go ahead and go up. That was interesting. I didn't expect that to happen. A couple sequences, there it shows up. So I can do sequence 1.2. And yeah, again, we have the same problem. So let's go ahead and rotate these guys. Move them forward and move them over. Might be a little too much. I don't know. And we're in the right order, 1 and 2. So let's just grab these, copy them, go down here and grab the right note card this time. paste them in, and get rid of the excess stuff here, and save it. Now we can go to sequence 1, go to sequence 2, everybody's happy. So what's next in our instructions? Then we did all of this, we adjusted best we can and saved. Step 3 says make a new note card in your inventory and name it this. So let me copy that. New note card, paste the name in there. And edit the card and add 2 examine lines for the couple, third in the sequence. And again, I see we're in trouble. So we'll copy that, paste, and save and close, and add it to the couch, and adjust the seats best we can, and then save after that. So here we go, let's save it. Let's add it to the couch. Let's refresh our menu by going up one, going back into the couples. We see we have sequence 3. Let's go ahead and put it in. And yes, again, we have to adjust these guys. So let's go ahead and put them in. Let's adjust them out here a little ways. These are about the same. Move them over. And you know, I'm going to move this number 2 sitter over just a little bit. He's not quite sitting right. And seat 1, and then the bad seat 2, and the new seat 2. So let me just go ahead and grab them all 3 and copy them. And open the right note card, paste them in, and now let's get rid of all of this down to the good one. Delete. Save it. Now we have sequence 1, sequence 2, and you can see those guys I didn't adjust. This one I did. So, and those are our 3 sequences: sequence 1, sequence 2, sequence 3. I could spend time and go ahead and adjust that one, but I'm not going to. Okay, and from now we have completed step 3, and we look, we've done all that stuff. From here on, it will be very difficult to select any one of these note cards individually. So it says, make sure each card is adjusted properly before proceeding. You know, maybe I ought to pause this and correct those other 2. Okay, I'm back, and I'm pretty sure I got everything adjusted the same way as we have this sequence 1.3. So if we look at 1 and 2 and 3, all the positions are correct. Now let's look at instructions number 4, because now we're going to mess things up, so we can't get that. Step 4 says rename set couples 1 to just sequence 1. So let me copy this and go down here and get this one and rename and paste. Okay. Now we want to rename 2 to be this one. So let's go down here. Rename, paste. Okay. And we want to rename 3 to this one. There we have it. So now if we look at our menu, let's go up. We don't even see the other couple, C1. We can't even get to those note cards. So you see what's happened is we've removed the set and the couples CPLS or whatever it was, CPL1. We removed it from the name. Yeah, it was set CPL sequence. That's what it was. We removed that all from the name. But the key here is we removed the set and the colon from the name, and nPose only builds menus based on set colon. These 3 do not have set colon in front of their names, and therefore we do not see them in the menu. I'm going to pause right here and we'll go on with the new video. This one's getting pretty long.